Good evening, fellow hockey fans. Well, the regular season is over, and everything is all wrapped up. But first things first. Who won the Central Division? Drum roll, please. The Nashville Predators. Congratulations to them. They took the Central Division, and all they did to do that is win. Though the Blues won earlier in the day, a 3-2 shootout win over Vancouver, they held first place for a brief while. But all Nashville needed to do to win the Central was win. And when they did, in comeback fashion, they were down 2-0 against the Blackhawks, and scored 5 unanswered to give the Predators the 5-2 win and the Central Division crown. So, congratulations to Nashville for capturing the Central again. I think this is their second straight division title. They won the Central last year when they actually won the President's Trophy for having the best record in the league. But and yeah, of course, because of that, they'll have home ice throughout the first 2 rounds of the Stanley Cup Playoffs, which is basically the entire Central Division portion of the postseason. But yeah, so who will they put? And as for other positioning, um, the Islanders won 3-0 to wrap up second place in the Metro. There was still a matter of who would be the first wild card in the East. And though Columbus won big in Ottawa, Carolina won against Philly, so Carolina got that. Pittsburgh won. Pittsburgh went to overtime to clinch third place, so they avoid facing the first place team. And in the West, Dallas shut out the Wild 3-0. Dallas shut out the Wild 3-0, so that sealed all of the series right there. And I'll give them to you. I'll give them to you division by division. First off, the Atlantic Division. That division's semifinal series. It will be Tampa Bay, who won today and tied the NHL record with their 62nd win this season. Tampa Bay Lightning will face off against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Now, a notable omen has been noticed by hockey fans. The last, I think it was the last 3 teams, the last 3 Stanley Cup champions all started the playoffs playing against. Actually, no, I got that wrong. The last 2 Stanley Cup champions started the playoffs playing against Columbus. Pittsburgh started the 2017 playoffs facing Columbus, and the same thing happened with Washington last year. So Tampa Bay starts against Columbus. So will that omen come true? We'll find out. Though, as I said before about the Blue Jackets, they are the least successful team in the NHL. They're the only team left that has never won a playoff series. They've only won a grand total of 5 playoff games in franchise history. Wouldn't it be something if Columbus's first playoff series victory is against a team that won 62 games? This is the NHL now. Anything's possible. So yeah, that's one series. The other Atlantic Division series is rematch from last year's first round. Boston and Toronto, the original 6 teams, are going to go at it again. And of course, they are the. I think I have this right. They are the only original 6 teams who made the playoffs this year. With Detroit being terrible, the Rangers having a bad season, Chicago just missed out, and Montreal got eliminated yesterday. So they are the only original 6 representatives in the Stanley Cup playoffs this year. Boston, Toronto. And of course, last year saw Boston win in 7 games. That was the only first round series to go 7. And I would think things would be different for Toronto. I think Toronto is going to beat Boston this time. I think they're a little bit better than they were the last couple seasons. I think they're gelling. Everything's going well, and they should make a good run. I would think so. So that's the Atlantic Division. The Metropolitan semifinals. This one semifinal is a battle between former Southeast Division foes. Remember the Southeast Division? Remember that division that was formed in 1998? It was the Washington Capitals and the Carolina Hurricanes, the Florida Panthers, and the Tampa Bay Lightning. And then a year later, it was the Atlanta Thrashers joined. Uh, and even when they moved to Winnipeg, became the second Jets team. They stayed there until the divisions realigned. But yeah, the Capitals and Hurricanes face each other in one semifinal. The Capitals are, of course, the defending Stanley Cup champions, and the Hurricanes got a big decade-long monkey off their back. They had the longest playoff drought in the NHL, and it came to an end that Thursday. So it came to an end that Thursday. So we'll see what Carolina has in store for the defending Stanley Cup champions. The other series will feature the Islanders face off against the Penguins, and it's the Islanders at home that have home ice, which means Crosby and company, who are 2 years removed from winning the Cup, they're going to start on the road in Brooklyn. Now, Pittsburgh's been kind of struggling throughout most of the season, and we'll see if that affects the playoffs. Meanwhile, the Islanders start at home, having home ice. That could be big. I mean, they kicked a lot of ass this year. Their first season under head coach Barry Trotz, the same man who coached the Capitals to the Stanley Cup last year. And they got great goalies in the form of Thomas Greiss and Robin Leonard, each of whom I've had on my fantasy hockey team. By the way, I am the fantasy hockey champion. But anyway, so that's the East. The West, the Central Division semis. One semifinal will be Nashville versus Dallas. That's going to be interesting because Nashville won the division, but they need the last day to do it, and they've been kind of losing games that people would think they'd win. They got to 100 points even, but Rene, I'm starting to sense a decline in Nashville because remember 2 years ago they upset the Blackhawks, made all the way to the Stanley Cup final. I think that decline kind of started at the end of that series. Because think about it, last year they struggled to beat the Avalanche and got trounced by Winnipeg. This year, Rene's been getting beat more often. I think teams have kind of figured him out. Will that happen in this first round? I don't know. I kind of don't see Dallas beating them, but I think Dallas is going to give them hell. It should be a very interesting series. And speaking of interesting series, the other central semifinal is St. Louis and Winnipeg. And Winnipeg's win over Arizona gave them home ice in this series. This is going to be a black and blue series, I believe it is. Because the Jets and Blues are two gritty teams. I love gritty teams in the NHL because they make the most noise and they, part of my language, fuck shit up. So I see that going. To match. That's going to 7. But I think Winnipeg should win it because they are a little bit ready. They're a little bit ready. They're a little bit ready for prime time. They appear to be. We all saw that run last year. In the Pacific Division, one Pacific Division semifinal, the Flames will face off against the Avalanche. Now here's a fun fact. Not counting Vegas, there are only two Western Conference teams that the Avalanche have never faced in the playoffs. We faced one of them this year, the Calgary Flames. The other is Winnipeg. Of course, Calgary and Colorado had been division foes forever. Even when the team moved to Denver from Quebec, we and the Flames were in the same division, in the Pacific Division together, and then the two teams were in the Northwest Division together. You remember the Northwest Division? Colorado, Calgary, Edmonton, Vancouver, Minnesota was added in 2000. And Colorado, Calgary were division foes until this alignment, which put the Avs in the Central and the Flames in the Pacific. Now the Flames, I think the Flames are the least impressive division winner this year because Tampa had the record season. Washington's the defending champs. Nashville is still strong. Calgary is another story. I seriously don't think that team's ready for prime time, and I think we're going to get them. I think the Avalanche are going to get them. One reason is, look how we ended. We ended the season on an 8-1-2 stretch. We were literally the hottest team. We were literally the hottest team in the NHL, and I can say that without being accused of being one-sided or biased. It's not just Avs fans that say that. It's analysts that are saying it. The Avs are the hottest team entering the playoffs, and those are the teams that teams should be worried. Who knows what teams are that to do? So yeah, that should be good. And the other series is Sharks and Golden Knights. Now these two teams face off in the Pacific Division final last year, with the Knights winning in 6 games during their magical run during their inaugural season to the Stanley Cup final. That year, Vegas had home ice. This year, the Sharks have it. Vegas is kind of going through a sophomore slump. They've been kind of they kind of struggled. I think they had a few injuries, but they've been kind of struggling a bit. They've had losing stretches, and it's been kind of a struggle to get to the playoffs, but they did make it. And meanwhile, the Sharks seem to be a team on a destiny because they've had a whole bunch of postseason. I think that team in their history has only missed the playoffs. I think like 4 times. That's something. That's really good. But they still haven't won that cup and only went to the final once. They're 3 years removed from their first and so far only appearance in the Stanley Cup final. So there's like a win or else atmosphere in San Jose because they have the tools. They got Eric Carlson, they have Evander Kane, they have Joe Pavelski, Brett Burns, Tomas Hertl, Logan Couture, Gus Nyquist, who they got for trade from Detroit. They have the tools. The question is, will they do? Will they come through? That's the thing. Okay, so I'm gonna make some picks. I'm gonna make my picks. Okay. As funny as it would be for the least successful team in the NHL to actually knock out Tampa, I don't see it happening. I say I'm gonna be fair and say Bolts in 5, but I'm not gonna say sweep. In the Atlantic, in the other series, Leafs in 6. Like I said, they're better than they have been the last few years. In the Metropolitan, I'm gonna say Caps in 6, and the other series is gonna be hard. I mean, the Islanders have the home ice, but Pittsburgh has the championship experience, which is gonna win out. But again, this is hockey, so this is gonna be hard. I kind of said to myself, if Pittsburgh doesn't get home ice, they're not going to advance. But I don't know if I want to stick to that. What the hell? I'll make the pick. Isles in 7. You heard it here first. As far as the West, the Central Division, Preds in 6. I say 6, not 7, because I can't see Dallas stretching to the 7th game. So I say Preds in 7. And Jets, Preds in 6. Preds in 6, Jets in 7. As for the Pacific, there's my upset though. I don't think a lot of people call it an upset. Avs in 6. We're gonna beat the Flames. I think we are. I think we're too hot, and the Flames are kind of chilled a bit. I mean, yes, they have the best record in the conference, but I think they've been trading wins and losses lately. So yeah, Avs in 6, and the other series, I'm going to say Sharks in 7, because my thing is, when in doubt, go with the home team, or the team with home ice fans. So yeah, Sharks in 7. So yeah, those are my picks, and it's going to be a fun playoffs. The Stanley Cup Playoffs is the greatest 2-month stretch in the calendar year, not just in sports, but just the calendar year. It is going to be a great postseason. I hope we get more overtime than we did last year. That's the best part of Stanley Cup Playoffs, that marathon overtime, and it's 5-on-5. So yeah. So here's to what should be a great Stanley Cup Playoffs. I can't wait. It all starts Wednesday. The schedule will be released tomorrow morning. So and as far as hockey, I'll be back here to review the opening round. And with that, I say until then, enjoy the playoffs, hockey